This is Neural Newscast, bringing you stories from history, technology, and beyond.
Thanks for joining us for this Neural Newscast deep dive. I'm Robert, your finance correspondent, and alongside Isabella, your psychology reporter, we're about to uncover some intriguing stories. On this day in 1963, the iconic British sci-fi series Doctor Who premiered on BBC television, introducing audiences to the time-traveling Doctor and quietly laying the groundwork for a franchise that would outlast formats, fashions, and even cast changes through the clever device of regeneration.
It's striking how a single premiere can seed such a broad psychological footprint. That first broadcast didn't just introduce a character, it created a shared story world people step into together, a narrative playground that keeps inviting us back.
From a market perspective, an enduring franchise like that is a masterclass in intellectual property. One debut becomes decades of licensing, recurring revenue, and brand extensions, from broadcast and novels to audio dramas, streaming, and conventions.
And psychologically, consistency across time is powerful. Families pass it down. Parents who watched in the 60s or 70s share it with kids and grandkids, so the show becomes a thread running through memory and identity across generations.
That premiere essentially opened a long-term customer relationship. It let producers monetize nostalgia and new formats while keeping core loyalty intact. Think reboots, special events, and merchandise that all feel connected to the same origin point.
Exactly. And nostalgia turns into a resource. The 1963 launch anchors communal memory, so each new Doctor or storyline feels like a chapter in a bigger book rather than a risky reset. Even iconic cues, the TARDIS sound, the theme, reinforce that continuity loop.
That anchoring lowers market risk. If a brand digs deep cultural roots, future investments, from spin-offs to international distribution, benefit from an embedded audience and more predictable demand curves.
And it trains expectations. People internalize the show's rhythms, Monster of the Week plus big seasonal arcs, so returns spark anticipation and social rituals, watch parties, debates, fan theories. The structure helps shape emotional payoffs.
Over time, that one broadcast catalyzed an economic ecosystem: production jobs, licensing agreements, global syndication, live events, and streaming rights, all traceable to the spark of a single pilot succeeding and then compounding.
And on the human level, it offered a recurring modern myth, a guide through time who can change and still stay familiar. That fuels identity, community rituals, and intergenerational dialogue. Remarkably durable for something that started as a Saturday TV slot.
It's rare for one TV premiere to launch both a cultural institution and a long-term financial engine, especially given the rocky start around its debut. Yet Doctor Who did just that and kept compounding its value.
And that's The Resonance, a story people can return to again and again, shaping markets and minds in tandem from that first episode onward.
Time for a quick pause. We'll explore more when Neural Newscast Deep Dive returns. Staying with the theme of legacies, today we celebrate the birthdays of Franklin Pierce, 1804, Miley Cyrus, 1992, and Boris Karloff, 1887, a span from politics to pop to classic horror.
Franklin Pierce is the one we'll dig into, 14th U.S. president, serving from 1853 to 1857, navigating the fraught pre-Civil War landscape where national identity was under intense psychological strain.
From a policy and economic angle, Pierce is tied to expansionist moves and the 1854 Kansas-Nebraska Act, decisions with outsized ripple effects on capital flows, land policy, and political stability. The Gadsden Purchase also fits that expansion through infrastructure vision.
Psychologically, the Kansas-Nebraska Act intensified sectional identities. It reframed group belonging as a high-stakes choice, accelerating in-group/out-group dynamics and fueling conflict, what we'd now call a mass identity threat response.
That polarization had concrete market effects. Uncertainty over the legal status of slavery in new territories shaped migration, land speculation, and investment horizons. When the rules are contested, risk premiums rise and capital hesitates.
And when institutions look biased or brittle, trust erodes fast. In the 1850s, that breakdown fed into violence and radicalization, the social psyche responding to perceived instability and threat with escalating, not moderating, behavior.
Pierce, a New Englander advocating national expansion, tried to balance factions, but those compromises often backfired. Think the Ostend Manifesto controversy, showing the limits of executive influence when local politics and public sentiment diverged sharply.
That mix, calling for unity while pursuing disruptive expansion, creates cognitive dissonance. People want stability, but the rhetoric and realities of change heighten arousal and fear, making reactions more intense and less flexible.
His term also set precedents. Political fragmentation accelerated, contributing to party realignment. Whigs collapsing, Republicans rising, and reshaping where money, infrastructure, and labor moved regionally.
And those institutional shifts rewired identity narratives, how people pictured themselves within the nation, which then steered political behavior and coalition building for generations.
So on his birthday, Pierce offers a compact lesson. Choices about expansion and governance can cascade through markets, institutions, and social cohesion far beyond a single term.
Exactly. His presidency reads like a case study in how policy can reverberate through a nation's psyche as powerfully as it does through its economy.
It's a reminder that leaders help shape systems we still inhabit. The incentives and constraints they engineer can endure long after their names fade from headlines.
And those choices leave marks on collective behavior and identity, part of why revisiting Pierce today illuminates current debates about conflict and reconciliation.
Stay with us. More deep dive exploring coming up.
Thanks for listening to NNC Neural Newscast. This is Chad Thompson, the founder of Neural Newscast. If you want to go deeper, we've got more stories and context waiting for you at our website, neuralnewscast.com.
Thanks for staying with us on Neural Newscast Deep Dive. Let's get back to our discussion. The world record for spitting a watermelon seed is 65 feet 4 inches.
That specificity is delightful, and it instantly makes you wonder about the setup. Angle, air, maybe even the perfect seed. How do you get a seed to travel that far?
From a performance standpoint, a precise distance turns a quirky stunt into a measurable metric, something you can analyze like any benchmarked output with technique, conditions, and consistency all in the model.
Psychologically, that exact number becomes a target. People imagine it, compare themselves to it, and suddenly a novelty turns into a goal state you can chase.
Precision also signals credibility. Records live or die on measurement. Just as a few digits can swing a financial report, a few inches decide whether a claim stands.
And a single crisp figure is motivating. It's not just very far. It's 65 feet, 4 inches. Concrete enough to feel imaginable, which is what fuels competition and practice.
It becomes a standard. Hear the number, and you immediately start optimizing variables. Launch angle, wind, technique, just like testing a hypothesis against a known benchmark.
Plus, specificity sticks. People remember a precise record more than a vague claim, so it travels well in conversation and lodges in memory as a quirky anchor.
In sum, having that record at 65 feet 4 inches gives us a clean, comparable milestone, succinct and memorable, and surprisingly rich for analysis.
Exactly. It's both fun trivia and a psychological anchor point for anyone tempted to test the limits of a simple human feat. Thanks for tuning into our deep dive. I'm Isabella, and from Robert and the Neural Newscast team, we'll see you next time.
For daily AI-powered news with a human touch, subscribe to Neural Newscast on your favorite platform, or visit our archive to find all past episodes and current shows. neuralnewscast.com. Neural Newscast combines real voice recordings with synthesized voices to enable prompt production without sacrificing quality. All content is generated using advanced AI algorithms developed by a human and undergoes fact-checking and human review prior to release. While we strive for factual, non-biased reporting and actively work to prevent AI hallucinations, AI-generated content can occasionally contain errors. Listeners are encouraged to verify critical information from trusted sources. For more details on our AI transparency policies, visit nnewscast.com.